Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Duos Gaming in our World of Tanks series. Today I'm going to be talking about the T110E5, a Tier 10 American heavy tank. Now the T110E5 is it's a more heavily armored American heavy tank, but doesn't have quite the DPM that the T57 Heavy does, which is understandable considering the T57 Heavy does have the highest DPM in the game. But nonetheless, we're on Windstorm right now. Let's see what we can do with the armor of the T110E5. So right now is just showing you what the American heavies are good at, and that is their turret armor as well as their movement speed. They're definitely not one of the slower heavies. They're going to be beaten by the Russians in the speed race, but the American heavy tank is just such a great all-rounder. If you aren't into medium tanks, the American heavies are going to be your next best bet. A lot of people will argue that the French heavies are going to be better for players that want to branch into heavy tanks if they were playing mediums, but you don't really get the armor bonus in French tanks. But nonetheless, at this point, what I'm thinking right now is that I've got to get out of this spot. So I'm backing up, trying to get the T95 to move out of my way. He finally does. And I am realizing that maybe we should go for the flank. No, not for the flank, but go and help the tank destroyer that's on my left. But I see this T95 is going gung-ho, man. He's going right into the thick of it, which works for me because I'm going to be right behind him. Using the T95 as going hold down on the T95 basically allows me to get a shot into that Object 705. And honestly, the Object 705 is kind of an interesting tank now because it doesn't really have good hull armor. You're able to go through the hull of that tank rather consistently. But don't worry, there's going to be a video coming out on the 705 shortly. Right now I'm currently grinding the ISM to get to that Tier 9. So that shot takes out the RU-251. And the Mostogen shows his head up there. And the Mostogen, just like the Moz, has a weak point at the cheeks. I'm not even shooting premium shells, but I'll be able to go through him rather reliably. So right now we're down by one tank, so we're going to have an influence in the game. And just every single shot that I am shooting at this Mostogen's cheeks are going through. The Mostogen ricochets me. That's because the T110E5 is actually rather well armored, even in the lower plate. They're going to be shooting at the lower plate most times. And lower tier tanks are going to have around a 50-50 chance to go through. That was kind of a bold play that I made right there, running right in front of those tank destroyers, but it paid off.
We're capturing the base.
Allowed me to get 7 penetration so far, and our team has actually gone up now. What I'm doing right here is trying to push this this heavy tank that died in front of me into a position where I can go hold down on him. And this is something I recommend you guys should do in tanks with good turret armor, such as the Super Conqueror, the T110E4, and even the Patton can work this position rather well. As long as you keep your lower plate covered, you should be alright. The Cupola is a weak point on the T110E5, but that's nothing. It's really not that much of a weak point compared to like the T110E4. But what I did there against the JG was I tracked him in place, hoping that he wasn't going to be able to shoot any of my teammates there, but I didn't see that he could see that T-30, or the tank destroyer that was behind me. But he shot, so he's reloading. I'm going to be able to take him out with that shot. And I decided to rush this T-30. We spin around the corner, the T-30 takes the shot, ricochets off me. I think he was shooting at the Mostogen, and I end up ramming the T-30 after an extreme low roll. That's a Moz, not a Mostogen. So there are only 3 tanks left, and already we've had a major impact in this game. So me being almost uninjured, I only lost 16 hit points off that ram. I'm just going to go straight for this. And that's something you can do rather easily in the T110E5, is you can just get stuck right into battle without too much care about your hit points because you got decent armor. That snapshot there on the Conqueror only hits his tracks, but that's alright because he only hits mine. I see that Centurion, but I know that he's most likely going to take a shot on me because I'm out in the open right now, but I decided to still shoot at the weaker armor. And we just keep trucking along. This Moz, or maybe not the Moz, some other tank's going to hit the Centurion Action 10, which allows me to take him out. And I'm just getting hit in the side by this 5100, 120. And I get that snap. And there's something else you can do with the American tanks. It's one of the specialities of the Americans is that you are just able to shoot on the move so well. And the weak side armor of the Conqueror allows me to go through his side even at that angle. And knowing that I'm going to need a shot on his lower plate or something, I need to repair that and back up. So after doing all that damage, I try to ram the Conqueror for a little bit more because I'm assuming my teammates are going to take this guy out, which they do before I reload. But nonetheless, a very influential game with the T110E5. I hope it showed you guys what positions you can use the T110E5 in, even in city maps such as Windstorm. But now we're going to take a look at the post-game stats and see how this match ended up. Alright, looking at the post-game stats here, you can see that we are in the Ace Tanker with dealing 5,500 damage and blocking 2,900. And normally when you think of an American tank, you think of a great Ridgeline Warrior, but not going to do too well in city. But if you are able to use your tank to its strengths, and also the rather troll lower plate armor that the T110E5 has, you're able to mop up unless you're fighting tier 10 tank destroyers on a consistent basis. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you in the next one.